Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes. Um, Scene starts with Ava actually waking up in cold sweat and kind of gasping for air, panicking for a bit. It's a rather vivid dream that, she totally asked for herself. But a scene now is definitely, or a dream now is definitely more than she had expected and a little more horrific than she expected. So she is going to take some time to calm herself down, goes to take a shower, trying to shake at least the violence of these images from her head. And after being done with the shower, the first thing that she's going to do is write this entire dream down in her dream diary as she uh, done so before. And making breakfast, getting dressed, all that kind of stuff. And she's kind of thinking it over, mulling it over, rereading the stuff that she wrote down, and thinking on what to do with this. And finally, she realizes that after probably like her third cup of coffee, she realizes that there might be someone who might know more about this, although she's not quite sure if she really wants to go and visit this person. She's kind of somewhat, well, I wouldn't say scared, but definitely apprehensive regarding this specific individual, seeing as he must be of considerable power, and she's not quite sure how well to trust him. But the longer she thinks on this, the more intent she is on this guy would probably know something about this at least. And she, yeah, she actually wants to find out. She is curious about it, I'd say. Um, so she's trying to find reasons not to go, and she finds plenty of them, especially not to go on her own. It's definitely not the wisest of decisions, but at some point she realizes that she already made the decision. She's gonna go and visit this individual that they met, that her and Nausicaa met at the Hermetic Chantry, that she believes is to be responsible for the death of the technocratic leader in New York, and was an ex-chorister, which might mean that he knows something about the dream she just had of what had transpired down at the church. So during this time, she hasn't really seen anyone in the chantry. Um, so probably everybody is either out or busy with their own stuff, and she doesn't want to really bother them. Um, so she goes back to her room. Um, will leave a note for Nausicaa that she will, like, um, flip under her door. Will push under her door, saying that she's going to visit this individual. I forgot the name. This is why I keep calling him this individual. Uh,
Gabriel.
Gabriel. Okay, he's gonna visit Gabriel, and she will. She'll be back in a few hours. If not, then check the copy of her dream diary in the library for any information that she had regarding the church. Um, yeah, and with that, she'll put on her coat, tie her shoelaces, and will make her way to leave the chantry. She'll take Paris along as well, because the guy can definitely use a walk. I'll make my deck stealth or my wit stealth.
Deck stealth.
Deck stealth, okay. Wow, this might go down different than.
As you walk down the street, You notice that the security cameras don't stop when they see you. Somewhere in the
Um.
back of your head,
Mhm.
you know you've not been particularly discreet. It's somehow, because of something, you don't draw attention.
Okay. It's a bit odd, as she is noticing the cameras and definitely more on alert. Mm, so she does decide to take a detour, big one, making or trying to make sure at least that she's scared. She's throwing off anyone who's following her. But yeah, she keeps looking around and she doesn't see anyone following her or interjecting. She's gonna continue on her way.
Yeah, you reach the address on Gabriel's business card. You see a small, very small tea shop. You can see inside there's probably 3 or 4 tables. Um, there is a young man at the counter. You notice the name of this place. Ava doesn't have French, but you see the beautifully written sign that says La Cité de l'Enfant Perdu. You could roll me if you want to figure out what the translation of that name of the tea shop is.
Yes, please.
Roll.
Intelligence and Nixmas, right?
Yep. Div
Yeah,
7, if I'm
div
not
seven.
mistaken.
Yeah, div 7 or higher. Yeah.
It's
Mm,
French. You've got a couple of related languages.
yeah.
Yep.
Successful.
You find out that this very small, very intimate, very refined coffee shop is actually called in French the City of Lost Children. It's, you would know in character, I don't know if you know out of character, that it's basically the title of a surrealist fantasy French film.
Okay. I did not know. Now I do.
Hmm. It's a decent film. Yeah.
Yeah, Ava will she'll actually just take a picture and then she'll head inside. She's just shooting a picture with her phone.
Inside the tea shop, you see this that it's very, very um very small, very, it's not, you would think it's crowded, but it's really cozy. There are like little candles and little red glass holders on the tables. There's this smell of freshly brewed black tea. It's warmer than outside. There's a bit of music playing in the background. It's it's some old 60s music. Edith Piaf, pick your choice. France Gallo, France Gall, whatever. Uh, actually, no, it's Edith Piaf. It's playing La Vie en Rose
Mm,
in the black background. As you see this very handsome young man at the counter, which I'm going to bring up a picture for if you just give me a minute.
Take your time.
Because I wasn't preparing for this. Now, where the hell did I save that picture? There we go. You see this very handsome, for
Yeah.
mechanical purposes, as appearance 5. Young man. And he gives you a bit of a warm, slightly flirtatious smile as he speaks. Oh, must be my lucky day. Such a beautiful lady in our tea shop. What can I get you?
Ava blushes very deeply. Um, I am. Thank you. I was given this business card. A man called Gabriel. Sorry. She shows him like the business card that she got. It has their
He
address on it.
takes it, like, unintentionally, big air quotes here, touching her hand as he does so. Um, oui. Yes, you want to talk to Uncle Gabriel. Yes. Points to the corner where you see a staircase. He's in his office. Go up. He's always happy to receive visitors. You
Oh,
sure you don't want some tea?
uh, um, um, I mean, I'd love to. Well,
I'll bring it up. Don't worry.
oh, okay. Thank you.
And yeah, you make your way to the stairs
Yeah, walking slightly faster than normal.
and guessing extraordinarily red in her
Mhm.
flushed cheeks.
Mhm.
Uh, because this boy toy just complimented you.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you open the door to, or you get in front of the
I
door of
mean,
the office
he's
because
gonna
you,
knock. Yeah, I was polite. You would not just barge in.
and you hear Gabriel's voice just saying, "We."
Um, hello. Ava will open the door. Ever so slightly, kind of poking her head around.
See Gabriel in a chair, in a big I forgot the term for it in English. Bucket, a big chair bucket.
Mhm.
Uh, ah,
Hello.
Miss Belphoebe. I was wondering when you would pay a visit. Come, please. And you see that his office is very tiny. The same cozy uh, feeling you get in the rest of the tea shop. It's a pretty small office. Has this big tube. I think they're called sofa chairs.
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Armchairs. Armchairs. Yeah,
Armchair.
armchair. That's the term I was looking for.
I mean, you're asking me to correct you. Like, my English is not that great either. Well, not
Yeah,
even either. My English is not that great.
fair enough. Yeah, he's sitting in one of the armchairs, not at the office, in front of this little table, which has an ashtray and not the box, just the ashtray. There's just an ashtray on the table, and he's reading the New York Times. And as he speaks to you, he just like folds the paper to look at you. Please come in, sit. As he folds the very gracefully folds the paper and puts it on the table.
And Alpha will breathe in and slowly exhales as she walks in, kind of picturing Nausicaa finding her notes and being absolutely frantic. Um, but yeah, she'll close the door behind her and goes to walk up to Gabriel.
He sits up and, as it's very polite and very French, kisses her hand. Uh,
Even that will make her blush. Like she just got rid of it, and then
yeah, Gabriel looks like a man who used to be very handsome in his youth,
Mhm.
but he's, as far as you can tell, he's pushing a certain age where time leaves its marks. For mechanical purposes, I'm gonna say, unless I modified it somewhere or I mentioned it somewhere. I think I gave the guy an app score. No, he is app 3. So pretty average looking. Oh, but you have no cup of tea. I'm nothing if not a gracious host. Please, what kind of tea do you enjoy?
oh, I if you would have, I don't know, like herbal tea.
Of
I'm
course.
sure you know better what is good tea than I do. So
Of course. He stands up, opens the door. You hear him slowly, like quickly going down the stairs. Hear some indistinct muttering, and he goes back up. Yeah, the tea will be here in 5 minutes. So, to what do I owe the pleasure of your visit?
um, well, actually, I was I was kind of hoping if you would be able to tell me something about the former chantry of this city of the
Ah,
foresters.
yes, of course. I would imagine this was a business visit, as you say here.
I mean, yeah, of, of course, business. Yeah.
Ah, we can talk. I'm in no hurry. Just let's just wait for a while to get our tea. And 2 minutes later, you hear a knock on the door. Gabriel says, "We," and the guy at the counter, this wonderful specimen, uh, comes in and with a tea tray with like 2 little teapots and 2 cups and like various assortments of porcelain receptacles with like um, orange peel confit. Forgot the English term for it. Fuck it. Glazed orange peel and uh, sugar and honey, and he puts there's actually 2 little trays, each individually prepared on top of this large tray, and he puts the large tray on the desk, puts the tray in front of Ava and says, "For the lovely lady, a black herbal tea with a bit of a rose infusion, and for you, uncle, your usual black tea." He gives a this guy gives you, as he puts the tea in front of you, gives you this warm, charming, macho smile. Uh,
Yeah, Ava immediately turns deep red again.
and uh, puts the tray in front of his uncle, and Gabriel says, "I believe you have met Michel, my nephew."
Yes, just now. Hi.
And he makes a puts his hand on his chest and makes a little bow. "I'm Michel Beritz. I am the tea magician of this
Did he just
establishment."
say the magician, Lupo?
Yeah.
Was that what he said?
Yep.
Is there like a check I can make to see if he means like that he's just really good with tea or that he means something else?
Uh, perception empathy.
Okay. Not like that. Perception.
And I'm tempted to say Div 7 because he's charming the hell out of you.
Hmm. Oh, I wish you had said Div 6, but yeah, no successes.
No, you are overwhelmed by this beautiful man that is the epitome of French charm and finesse.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Nimue. Nimue Belphoebe.
Such a beautiful name for such a beautiful girl.
Thank you.
And Gabriel gives him a bit of a fatherly look and says, "Michel, I do believe you have work to do downstairs." "Ah, yes, uncle, yes, right away. Sorry." He says he takes the large tray and uh, closes the door behind him. See Gabriel putting uh, 3 teaspoons into his cup, pouring the tea on top, and just grabbing the cup, and just taking little sips of it. "So, what do you want to know about this chantry?"
That was as advice, a bit more clumsily, but pouring the tea in her cup as well. I
It's
was
a,
wondering.
it's a very actually no.
Hmm? Okay,
I wanted to describe the tea, but
that's cool.
if she
No,
didn't drink it,
okay, no, I've not drank yet. I mean, it's hot. You don't immediately drink tea.
depends on how much of a badass you are.
Not so much. Ava. I don't believe badass is any way to describe Ava.
Yeah, Ava's a good ass.
Eh, I was wondering what you knew about the how the chantry came to an end.
Uh,
She's
because we're
just gonna
having
quickly check his throat, like, for any scars.
perception alertness def 4 since he's like 2 meters away from you.
Hmm. Oh,
You don't see
I
shit.
don't think I've made a roll like. Oh no, I did actually the previous. Okay, so she just she checks, but not well enough, and just waits for him to actually picks up the cup and just sniffs it, and just waits for him to answer.
Mm. The smell from the cup is this very potent smell of black tea, but there's something subtle, a subtle rose aroma that like wild rose hip, however you want to call it, that exudes from it. Like that one's the lingering smell. Like the initial note is the strong black tea and fades out into this very fine wild rose smell. Like I told you before, I have no interest in re-establishing contact with Lucoa Celeste. Yeah, narrow in their views. So I can't say I know anything about that chantry. I have not gone there myself.
I see. I I don't think it was destroyed by the technocrats, and I was hoping if you might have heard about it.
What do you suspect?
Well, there was a wedding of sorts. It's complicated to explain. Um, I basically did. I think in layman's terms, it's best to describe it as a reading on the chantry.
He
Um,
nods.
it seems there was a wedding between, well, of course, two individuals, and um, well, one of them, the bride, kind of disturbed the wedding by killing everyone and trying to summon a dark entity.
Don't need to hide from me. I know what the demon is.
Demon then.
So you're telling me that it's bride, as you call that, attempted to summon a demon
I think
and that
so.
destroyed the chantry.
It's what I suspect, yes.
Sounds simple to me.
I was hoping if you'd happen to know anything about it.
About summoning demons.
Mm. No, no, no. About the events. I thought maybe you had heard something about it.
You broke ties with them years ago.
Mm.
I'm not exactly, as you say, on the newsletter.
I mean, it didn't happen weeks ago. It was somewhere in the last 10 years. I'm not entirely sure, though.
I left the traditions 30 years ago.
I understand. I'm sorry. Have you ever heard mention of two crowns?
2 crowns. Out of character, give me just a sec.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry about this interruption.
That's fine.
Yeah, where was I?
I've
Uh,
I've asked about the two crowns.
in the Orthodox Church, bride and groom uh, have these two crowns placed upon their heads during the ceremony. Do you believe the Greeks called them Stephanomata? Yeah, they're part of the ritual. They symbolize the union between the two. They are fairly common items.
Oh, okay. It was after the crown was placed that she started to behave strangely. Well, doing that what I described earlier.
And there must be something about the crown.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. As overall my great amount of manipulation subterfuge. Son of subterfuge. Yeah, perhaps there was something with the crown. She'll take a sip of the tea.
It's black tea with wild rose.
Mm.
I feel like there's something you're not telling me anyway.
Wow. Yeah. um, she swallows a sip quickly. Well, we well, yeah. You see the crown. Crown is haunted. She again kind of blushes.
Haunted. How can an object be haunted?
Well, you put it on, it tries to possess you.
Mm. So there is a spirit tied to this crown.
Yes,
Unusual, yet not unheard of.
but I believe it's her spirit.
Yes, ghosts appear in so many forms. So why did you not exercise it?
I I don't have that capability. I think.
Has the Order of Hermes gotten more lenient in their training?
I can't, I can't tell, but I don't think so. It's just that I've not learned that particular. But but I will. She she now gets bright red, which is not just shame. It's like she's definitely not wanting to, you know, put any shame on the Order of Hermes.
It is a fairly simple procedure.
Oh, my search for knowledge has gone in different directions, but I was not coming here to ask you to help her. Just wondering if you knew something about it. Since, well, you're very capable, apparently.
Gives you a bit of a smile. Ah, I survive.
I think you did more than surviving.
I told you I find the training that the traditions choose to be somewhat lacking. Not being able to handle something as simple as exercising one object.
I mean, once we know how it's done, I'm sure that we'll, me and my cabal can do it. It's just that.
Also, a whole cabal of you weren't able to exercise this item.
No, that's not at all. That's not what I'm saying.
It sounds like this is what you're implying.
No, it's not. It's just that exercising has not been our top priority so far. Been busy with dealing with technocrats as well as we could. None of us has been around here and aware of being what we are for longer than a year.
Fair enough. I mean, no insult. I'm just saying that regardless of your expertise, your abilities, or your passions, certain activities of the magical variety should be within the arsenal of every awakened.
Well, perhaps you shouldn't have left the traditions then if you feel that we are being wrongly educated.
Did not say wrongly, I said insufficiently.
It's the same. You're just trying to make it sound more polite.
It's a different matter altogether. You can be trained right, but insufficiently. You could be trained a lot, but wrongly. Wrong and insufficient hardly mean the same thing.
Ava kind of looks into her teacup. Um, she's definitely a little upset, like it shows. She's trying very hard to stay polite because this guy is, yeah, at least in Ava's mind, fucking powerful. So she doesn't want to upset him, but at the same time, she feels like she should, defend her, not only her cabal, but her um, order as well.
If you think that the training provided by the order is sufficient, then by all means, find a way of dealing with this yourself. If you decide to tap into your potential, then we might have a different talk altogether.
What do you mean with that?
I decided to leave the traditions, and I felt that I was unable to discover my potential with them.
And how did you find your potential?
Different trainings with different masters, a lot of searching. and finally finding my place. It is a journey of self-discovery. Seldomly we find the mentor able and willing, and magic is a lot different than some of the traditions would like to portray. Strong magic, especially if something as simple as an exorcism creates problems for an entire cabal. I'm saying you are not tapping into your potential.
It wasn't the entire cabal. And like I said, we've not been able to deal with something like this before, and some of us don't even have a tradition, not even part of one.
Still, a member of Order of Hermes, one as capable as you not being able to deal with something so minor. It's a shame.
If it's so minor, no.
Yes,
Then why don't you teach me?
you want to learn from me.
I mean, I'm sure I can find it in our books.
I don't know what the books of the Order of Hermes contain. I was never in one of their libraries.
Their libraries are gorgeous.
He
There
looks
are.
at the he looks to the side at his um, bookshelf. You can see there's quite a couple of books in there.
There are not enough days in anyone's life to read all the books. Not even if we use magic. Um, she drinks the tea and places the cup back on the table. You did you kill the technocrat?
Don't know any technocrats, and I'm gonna roll my sub for this.
Oh, my great luck of dice. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to beat it.
4 successes.
Wow. No, I got two. Three.
You're close.
Yeah, no cigar.
Yeah, you feel like that takes a while to say this, but it doesn't come off as lying.
Mama frowns at that because I mean, the way she deducted this, she's pretty sure that he did. She says, the doctor. We gave his name to you, me and my friend. And the next day he was dead after a power surge.
Coincidences happen.
I I suppose.
New York is a big city. A power surge should not be something so uncommon, and people sometimes die, especially technocrats. They play with their toys too much. Sometimes their toys decide to play with them.
I mean, I'm sure you've read the news about it.
Yes, I did.
Mm,
Like I said, nothing more than a coincidence.
right. Sure. Baba doesn't sound completely convinced. But yeah, she can't really catch him on a lie, so she's like, Are you training your nephew too?
Telling him
I
with
mean,
what?
magic?
You know as well as I do that magic is not inherited. It cannot be given on someone.
Uh, I was just thinking since you mentioned being a tea magician.
He's very
That,
good with tea.
yeah.
I'm gonna roll my hips up again.
God damn it.
4 successes.
I don't have enough dice to roll at that.
You've got 5.
Uh,
Could get
I got
lucky.
3 successes. No.
He's just really good with tea.
He is. The tea is great.
I'm glad you like it. But like I said, should you decide to unlock your true potential, and
How would
put
you
your
do that?
it's a long process. I can't give you all my secrets. This is a decision you have to make alone.
Rolling curiosity. Fucking hell.
The I'm gonna say still late.
Oh.
Ooh.
I, I'll think about it.
You know where to find me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the tea and the conversation. So,
Always a pleasure.
mm, oh well. Yeah, she'll get up.
Just gonna stand up and see you to the door.
Yeah. Good luck. I'll talk to you perhaps later. Farewell. Yeah.
Nice day to you too,
Yes.
Miss
You too.
Bird Phoebe. And as Ava goes downstairs, bumps into Michelle again. And he looks at you and puts on a pouty face. Oh, leaving so soon. No, you didn't like my tea.
It was lovely. It really was.
Did my uncle say something wrong?
Uh, No. Roll subterfuge again. Wow.
Oh, I'm not even gonna roll against that.
No, no, that's a fucking bot.
Okay, please describe how Ava makes a fool of herself.
I mean, she says no, but it's first of all way too fast, a little too loud, and her cheeks are once again bright red, but not out of like her being charmed or anything, but just the frustration of the chat as she's kind of squeezing her hands into fists and looking away.
Uh, I see. Yes, my uncle usually doesn't give people the answers they're looking for unless they ask nicely enough. Sure, you don't want to stay for another cup?
Um, I mean, if you're offering, sure. It wasn't that he was just I can tell he did not like the traditions. Mm, I mean,
You're gonna have to roll for that.
traditions that I was brought up with.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna spend the willpower on that quick made up lie. She's
Yep.
like, fuck, fuck, fuck. That's 3 successes.
Yep, he doesn't get it. Um, yes, I know my uncle is a bit of a revolutionary. He just wants to unlock people's potential. He calls himself a bit of a life coach, personal development expert.
Has he helped you with that?
Yes, he helped a lot of people.
Oh, how?
Advice, experiments, homework, things to do.
Homework sounds nice.
And I'm sure if we decide to listen to his advice, that we might be able to work on homework together. And I'm gonna roll for this. Let's see, appearance. What would flirting be? Appearance, empathy, appearance, what?
Appearance subterfuge,
Appearance, subterfuge.
I believe. Actually, it would be manipulation, but I'd say appearance subterfuge, manipulation, empathy, something like that.
Appearance, I'm gonna go with appearance,
Depends
subterfuge.
depends on how you do it, really.
1, 2, 3 successes. Yeah, he says this as he puts his hand on the table, flexing his muscles a little, putting on a very charming smile, and just like with the tip of his finger, just like pushing away a bit of his hair behind his ear.
Uh, yeah, Alpha is kind of involuntarily staring at him. Uh,
Turning crimson.
yeah, I mean, purple almost at this point. Uh, well, uh, that sounds interesting. Nice. I mean, sorry. It's been an interesting conversation with your uncle, and doing homework together sounds nice. I think.
Gives you a big smile, and he quickly pulls out two little teacups and pours a bit of tea for both of you. So, I'm guessing you have some problems. People don't usually pay visits to my uncle just to check in. What brings such a beautiful young lady to our doorstep?
I'm not really that beautiful, really.
No, you are.
No, no, no. Um, I mean, that wasn't what I was. She she takes a big gulp of the tea at that point, like distraction. Um, Problems, not so much as wanting coming to look for information, just things.
And my uncle is good at giving information. And please never say you're not beautiful. I
Well,
appreciate your modesty, but we can go over that.
I think Ava is like a parent. Oh, she's a parent 3. She's a little above average. He didn't give me the information that I was looking for. Um, he said he didn't know about the thing I came to him for. And then he said I should have learned to fix that already. So, obviously, I'm not good enough.
I'm sure you are good for many things, good at many things. But
Ava shrugs.
like I said, my uncle has unorthodox ways of teaching people. His methods are very successful.
What do you mean unorthodox? Like, do you have an example of something?
It's not nice to share. They are very personalized.
Oh, right.
He's like a doctor for the mind and the soul. You don't share things that you share with your doctor with everyone, especially with the girl you just met, no matter how pretty she is.
No, I understand. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
No, no, you're just curious. It's natural.
A little bit, yeah.
And unless you want to add anything else, I believe we can draw the scene to a close with the two of them drinking their tea and
Hmm.
Ava going home.
Yep. Yeah. I don't have anything else. So thank you, SD, for seeing, and see you at another, well, scene for Living World of Darkness.